Hello everyone, welcome to the 5-Minute Discovery channel. Today, we will explore one of the most mysterious countries in the world, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. You may have heard a lot about this country, but real information about them is not easy to find on the internet. Let me open the door to explore North Korea. North Korea is located in East Asia, on the Korean peninsula, above South Korea. An interesting fact is that the two North and South were once a unified country until 1945. Currently, North Korea has a total area of about 120.540 square kilometers and a population of about 25 million people. What is special is that 1/3 of them live in urban areas, of which the capital Pyongyang is the largest city, with about 3 million residents. Pyongyang is not only the political center but also a place that preserves many unique cultural features of North Korea. Rare photos from this country often appear on YouTube or social media. But there is a certain magic that makes us want to learn more. Join me as we immerse ourselves in the mysterious and fascinating world of North Korea, where history and present intersect to create a vivid but also challenging picture. Get ready to discover things that few people know. When it comes to North Korea, it is impossible not to mention the country's unique political system. Guided by the ideology of Chuism, North Korea pursues an independent path in ideology, politics, and economy, with the goal of self-sufficiency and self-reliance in defense. Since its founding, the country has been led by a single family, with the current Kim Jong-un being the successor of his father, Kim Jong-il, and grandfather, Kim Il-sung. North Korea is one of the most homogeneous countries in the world, with 99.9% of the population being Korean. Since the end of World War II, the number of foreigners entering North Korea has been almost zero. This has created a rather unique community of people, where everyone has a unified culture and identity. The landscape in North Korea is described as peaceful, rustic, and orderly. Traffic here is unlike what we usually see in other big cities. The streets are deserted, with most people traveling by public transport such as buses or bicycles. It is interesting to know that, when there is a traffic jam, North Koreans are usually calm and accepting of the situation, showing remarkable patience. Another highlight is the border area between North Korea and South Korea, which is considered the largest nature reserve on the peninsula. This area not only has ecological value but also contains many historical stories, witnessing the changes of time. Since 1953, the border area between North and South Korea, known as Point Z, has been a neutral zone, belonging to no country. It is one of the most pristine nature reserves in Asia, where humans are almost never allowed to set foot. The tranquility and wildness of Point Z is reflected in many YouTube videos, where you can find fascinating stories about this place. Economically, North Korea is facing many difficulties. Under sanctions from the US and the United Nations, the country has almost no trade with the world, except for a little with China. Information about the North Korean economy is scarce, and much of the data on the internet is inaccurate or outdated. One obvious fact is that North Korea has an acknowledged food shortage, which can be easily found with a simple search. Looking at a map, you will see that most of North Korea is covered by majestic mountains, with only a small area of green plains. This not only makes farming difficult but also leads to flooding during the rainy season. Winters here are extremely harsh, creating many challenges for the already backward agricultural sector. China is North Korea's largest trading partner, accounting for about 60% of its exports. Among the main exports, seafood plays an important role, accounting for 1/4 of the country's total exports. A famous satellite photo of North Korea taken at night shows a contrasting picture between the darkness of the north and the light of the south. While the northern regions are plunged into darkness, there are only a few bright spots from the capital Pyongyang and some surrounding areas. This clearly shows the gap in living standards and development between the two regions. According to estimates from Western sources, about 13% of North Korea's electricity comes from hydropower, while the rest comes mainly from thermal power. Notably, the average North Korean's electricity consumption is only 1/20 that of South Korea. When it comes to North Korea, one of the things that draws a lot of attention is its military. With a lack of electricity and limited means of consuming electricity, the military has become one of the central elements of this country. You may have heard about the dramatic images from North Korea, which is still technically at war with South Korea, after the Korean War from 1950 to 1953 ended in an armistice rather than a formal peace treaty. North Korea is known as a country with formidable military power, with a variety of modern weapons. However, detailed information about their military forces is often difficult to access, forcing people to rely on Western sources. According to a report by the Australian Institute for Economics and Peace, about 24% of North Korea's gross domestic product, GDP, is spent on the military, the highest rate in the world. When you think of North Korea, you probably think of missile and nuclear weapons testing. Currently, the country has about 1.25 million soldiers in the military, creating a powerful military force. When it comes to tourism, North Korea still maintains many strict regulations. Only a few thousand Western tourists are allowed to enter the country each year, and they usually have to go through China. Individual travel is still prohibited. All visitors must join group tours. Even if they have local friends or relatives, they cannot join the tour group. Previously, many devices such as cameras, camcorders, or phone chargers were not allowed into North Korea. Now, visitors can bring them, but all devices will have to go through security checks before entering. In addition, visitors are not allowed to take photos in some sensitive areas and must dress modestly when visiting monuments or important places related to leaders. Let's explore some interesting things about this mysterious country. First, we cannot help but mention the Mayday Stadium, the largest stadium in the world, with a capacity of up to 150,000 seats. With its enormous size, the stadium surpasses even famous sports meccas such as Camp Nou or Maracana. The stadium is designed in the shape of a shell, with 16 domes arranged like brilliant magnolia flowers. Why did North Korea invest so much effort to build such a giant structure? Inaugurated in 1988, this stadium was intended to become a symbol of counterbalance to South Korea, especially in the context of the ongoing Summer Olympics. In 1989, it hosted the 13th World Youth and Students Festival in Pyongyang. Despite the stadium's impressive size, it is not often used for football matches. Instead, it is mainly the venue for the Arirang Festival, the largest and most famous festival in North Korea, which takes place every August. This festival is considered the world's largest mass performance, with beautiful, meticulously detailed dances and formations. Arirang is named after a Korean folk song and was first held in 2002 to celebrate the 90th anniversary of the birth of the late President Kim Il-sung. This festival not only celebrates culture but also honors the country's leaders, and has become an annual event. In addition, North Koreans have unique ways of celebrating the New Year. They celebrate the New Year not just once but 3 times a year. First is the Western New Year, followed by the Lunar New Year according to Eastern customs. Finally, they also have the Uncle-Sister New Year, which is calculated according to the Uncle-Sister calendar, with the birth date of the late President Kim Il-sung on April 15, 1912. Since then, New Years have been numbered according to this system, and 2021 corresponds to year 110 on their calendar. Finally, we will explore an interesting and unique aspect of North Korea, the leaders' mode of transportation, the train. Why has the train become their main mode of transportation? Because for generations, North Korean leaders, especially Kim Jong-un and his father, Kim Jong-il, have used trains as their main mode of transportation. Kim Jong-il never even flew during his lifetime. He often made important visits to China and Russia by train. The most compelling reason for this choice is safety. Trains not only feel safer, but also allow leaders to move around in a well-protected space. For example, during his visit to Vietnam to hold talks with former US President Donald Trump, Kim Jong-un chose to travel by train. Although the journey took 60 hours, instead of just 3 to 4 hours of flying, it not only continued the tradition of his grandfather and father, but also showed his focus on security. The armored train that Kim Jong-un used was not only a means of transportation, but also a symbol of power and security. Such trips often contain many stories and meanings, making each appearance of the leader more special. North Korea, with its mysteries and differences, has always been one of the most impressive countries in the world. Thank you for following this story. If you find it interesting, Please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss interesting videos from around the world every day. Now, goodbye and see you again.